guys, it's Pam again. Welcome back to Playing with Pam. In this little workshop, mini workshop, what I'm going to show you how to do is cut out a t-shirt square. So in the last video I showed you how to iron the fusible, what's that called? Fusible, I always call it fusible webbing, interfacing to the back. And you know, we have our t-shirt ready to go, and now we're going to cut out a square from this. So I've got my 15.5-inch ruler, again, handy dandy, and I am going to put it up onto my t-shirt. And I apologize, I know you can't see face down. We don't have one of those nifty studios here, but hopefully you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. I'm basically just placing the ruler on top of my image that I want to use. And one of the really cool things about having a grid on your ruler is that you can, if you have text or any sort of straight lines, you can line it up with your image to make sure you're going to be cutting out a straight square, or cutting out the image so that it is straight. So I am going to adjust that a little bit, and you know, keep in mind when they print these things, the images aren't necessarily straight, but you know, we'll do the best we can. In most cases, you want to put the ruler all the way up to where the stitching begins on the collar, just because t-shirts tend to be printed a little bit high, with the image a little bit higher up. So you want to get it as centered as possible, unless you're going for some other kind of look, which is totally fine. The other cool thing about this gridded ruler is I can really just look at where my image falls in here and sort of count over and see, is it centered on, you know, on the t-shirt here. So I can see in this case there's a letter A, and it's got about, let's see, 1, 2.5 grid or squares on the right, and about 2, and it's almost exactly perfect, which is pretty amazing considering I just laid it down here. That's pretty darn cool. Okay, now I'm looking to see if it's lined up straight, using some letters as guidelines. It looks pretty darn good. So then I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and hold everything down and cut out a square. Pretty easy stuff. Although I have had a t-shirt roll on me before, even with the fusible interfacing on it, so you just want to be careful. All right, and again, I have always learned to cut away from you, and in this case, cutting down here, I kind of, it's a little kludgy, but I sort of cross over. Again, I just always want to make sure I'm cutting away from myself so that I'm not, you know, going to cut off a finger or something. All right, and last cut. And hopefully, I can take this away and everything will look good. So I'm pulling that away, pulling away my excess fabric. There's a tiny little piece of thread. Didn't get cut, no big deal. And voila! I have a beautiful t-shirt square. Looks lovely on the back. Not always the case. I've cut a few of these where I turn it over in the back and for some reason the interfacing has slipped around and I have to actually iron another little piece on it to cover the piece that slipped away. But I'm really not sure why that happened. It's kind of weird. But anyway, in this case it came out perfect, and we're just going to go do another 15 of these. So hopefully it's been fun so far, and I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and cut up your t-shirts and get your squares together, and we will meet back here in a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do for my next video is demonstrate what happens if you have a smaller t-shirt square that you want to use in a quilt where the rest of the squares are larger, and I'm going to show you how to piece a square together to make a bigger square. So join me for that, and I look forward to seeing you then. All right, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.